guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Lynn.
And I'm Jonathan.
We are Create and Capture Life. So it's been a week.
That's for sure.
It's been, actually, when you see the rest of the B-roll and stuff, it's been a little more than about 10 days. It's been 10 days.
Yeah.
So, how do you want to start it? We are outside, actually, in front of our garage, so you can see our
minimalism effort.
This is an empty storage unit that is now in our garage that we are getting rid of box by box, item by item, before we hit the other storage unit. So yeah, this is, we don't want to lie about what it really looks like. This is what our garage really looks like right now. You cannot, we have one walking path into the garage, and I can get the washer and dryer, and you cannot get a car or another bike or anything else in here. So that's the reality of our getting rid of things.
Yep.
But we did, on the bright side, empty one storage unit, so that was good news. We got rid of one, and we'll be working on the next one, hopefully, probably next week.
Yeah, we were going to work on it this week, but
it's been a week. So I'm going to let Jonathan start with your grandparents.
So last week on, I can't remember if it was Monday or Tuesday.
It was early in the week.
It was early in the week. My grandmother had an episode, and she ended up in the hospital. So we had to spend some time taking care of her. Once she was finally released from the hospital, they sent her home with some medication that didn't necessarily agree with her. That was a blood pressure medication. It was actually a low pressor to bring her blood pressure down. Well, my grandmother doesn't necessarily have high blood pressure. She might be the only one in the family, because I sure do.
Especially after this week.
Yeah, especially after this week. And sorry, there's stuff in my nose.
And it's also about, even though it's 6:30 at night, I think 6 o'clock, it's about 90 degrees still out here with a little bit of a breeze. So
still pretty warm.
We're a little sweaty.
Hopefully the wind noise isn't too much. I've got the dead cat on the microphone, but who knows?
We'll see.
We'll see. If it is, I'm sorry. Anyway, my grandmother got that medication. They sent her home. Never gave it to her in the ER, which I thought was interesting.
Or she was in the hospital, what, 4 days, and they didn't give it to her when she was in the hospital.
Yeah, they never gave it to her in the hospital, but they sent her home with it. And the second she got home and took it, she was getting up about 11:30 midnight one night. She was getting up to go to the restroom, and she passed out again. So she ended up back in the hospital. And the process of her going to the hospital, my grandfather also ended up in the hospital because somehow he double dosed himself with insulin. He's got diabetes, so he double dosed himself with insulin. His blood sugar levels went from like almost 400 down to about,
it was like 30 something,
36. So for those of you guys that are diabetic, you understand that's a significant drop in your blood sugar. That caused him to also pass out. So I then had both my grandparents in the hospital.
The ambulance or paramedic joked with us that they got a twofer because they both ended up in the same ambulance. Yeah. So they got two for the price of one.
Yeah. I don't think it'll work out that way. They'll probably get charged
twice.
They'll probably
get charged twice.
So
we spent Saturday night. We got a phone call. Jonathan was asleep. I was up editing. It was about midnight. Jonathan was supposed to go to work at 5 a.m., so he was already asleep. I was editing, and his phone started ringing at like midnight.
Yep.
So I woke him up and said, hey, someone's calling you on your phone. And for those of us that work at Disney and the departments we work at, someone calling you in the middle of the night about something work-related is not unusual.
No.
So my first thought was, oh great, somebody's calling from work, something happened at work. And so he saw who was calling, missed the call, then it was his mom, and she then called my phone, and I told him, you need to call her. So he called her, and that's when we found out his grandparents were in the hospital.
Yeah.
So we got dressed, got in the car, went to the hospital to see both of his grandparents at UCI, and we spent the night there. I think we got home at 6 a.m., so needless to say, Jonathan missed work.
Yep.
Or part of work.
Yeah.
So we spent the night there. They ended up keeping them just to keep an eye on them, observation. So they assured us it was okay to go home. So we went home. And yeah, we thought, okay, everything's cool. Sunday, we had already planned this about a month ago. We were having my entire family over to our house on Sunday, which was amazing. We celebrated 6 family birthdays, all my nieces and nephews plus my 2 kids. We celebrate all their birthdays because we keep missing birthdays. Usually we celebrate birthdays every month, and with the kids being adults and working and scheduling, it's hard to get everybody together at the same time. My daughter lives in downtown LA, and it's just hard to get everybody together, so that's why we scheduled it like a month ago. So we got them all together. Sunday was an amazing day. We had fun, lots of good food. Everything was great.
Yeah.
And that was Sunday, and we were thinking, okay, cool, like his grandparents are home, everything's good.
Yeah. So then I went to work on Monday, and I spent a little extra time at work on Monday, and I got a phone call from Lynn. I think it was around 11:30 at night, asking me what time I was going to be home. And I said, oh, I'm just finishing some stuff up. I was actually getting some training on some new software. And she said, okay, but I could tell in her voice that something was wrong. And I said, what's going on? And she says, I don't feel good. I'm having chest pains. And I said, okay, well, I'll head home right now. By the time I got from where I was working almost to my car, it was just a few minutes, and she called me back and said, she was pretty much in tears, told me the pain was really bad and that she was going to call 911. She was going to have Ryan,
My son.
call 911. So I double timed it home, and right as I was pulling up, the ambulance had just gotten there, and they were heading in to check her out and getting ready to take her to the hospital, which you guys saw in the B-roll from our security camera at home. You guys could see her getting taken out in a gurney.
So what ended up happening was Monday, I was supposed to be at work, what I call Monday night, but it's actually Tuesday morning. I was supposed to be at work at 3 a.m. for a special thing that we were working on this week at Disney. And so I had, earlier in the day when Jonathan was already gone, I was having chest pains, but we had done a lot of working over the Friday and Saturday after his grandparents were released from the hospital. We had done a lot in the garage. We had done a lot of emptied out that storage unit. We had done a lot of physical things, and so I thought maybe I pulled a muscle, maybe, whatever, like all the things you think besides it could be my heart. And so I went to sleep early because I had to get up at 1 a.m. to get ready for work. Went to sleep. All of a sudden, about 11:30, I was awoken with a sharp chest pain and immediate nausea. I was nauseous. I was cold and sweaty. I just felt horrible, and I called Jonathan like he said, and I woke my son up, which he told Jonathan later, you never expect your mom to wake you up and say, I need you to call 911. And I've never had someone call 911 for me, but I literally felt like something was seriously wrong. And so yeah, the paramedics came in, picked me up. They admitted me to the hospital. That was Monday night, Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning, yep.
And I got out of the hospital yesterday, which was Friday.
Yep.
So Jonathan did a lot of videoing. I did not know that until just a few minutes ago. He did a lot of videoing.
Actually, you got out on Thursday.
Oh. Today's Friday.
Today's
so I got
Friday.
out on
So we're
Thursday.
filming this on Friday. So normally you guys know we release our videos on Friday, but obviously with everything going on, we're going to try to release a video
tonight. I'll try to get it out tonight.
Yeah, tonight. But if not, you guys will see this on Saturday at some point.
Because I'm not allowed to go anywhere right now, so I'll be home. I'm going to edit tonight. So yeah, we don't know what happened. I have a cardiologist, and because I have a really bad family history of heart issues, so I have a cardiologist, and he came and they did all kinds of tests. I was still having the chest pains for the 2 days. Then at one point in the hospital, there was a panic moment where my right side started to go numb, and they had just given me morphine, which I don't take a lot of medicines, and they had just given me morphine. And sorry about that, our neighbor's working on his car.
Hindsight, maybe recording out by the garage wasn't the best of ideas, but hey, we're out here now, so let's get it done.
We didn't want to set up lights, and we wanted you to see what our garage really looks like. So my right side was going numb, but I was a little loopy because they had given me morphine for the chest pain. And so somebody was asking me all these questions and to do different things, and I was super loopy. And so his name's Aaron. He's their one of their rapid response nurses at Los Alamitos Hospital, which I didn't realize is a thing, but very nice guy. Ironically, we filmed with him. We actually filmed him a year and a half ago for an every 15 minutes program, so we recognized him. He called code stroke. I don't remember that because like I said, I was loopy from the morphine. So Jonathan can let you know what happened there because I don't. I just remember all of a sudden them saying I was having a CT scan, and then I had a CT scan like the day before, and so I was like, whatever, I'll have another CT scan, whatever. But they were like running through the hallway this time, and so I was thinking, because I was laying flat on the bed and they were running through the hallway, and so I was thinking, what the heck, like why are you guys in such a hurry? Like,
so basically when this hospital right by us, Los Alamitos Hospital in Los Alamitos, California, and thank you to the medical staff at Los Alamitos Hospital for taking such good care of us, first of all.
They were very nice.
Yeah, everybody there was super amazing. But what happens is when the nurse came in to give her the morphine to kind of kill the pain that she was having in her shoulder, he has to have another nurse come over and just basically consult, make sure that everything is good. And as he was giving her the morphine, Erin was kind of checking her out, talking to her about her pain and stuff. And that's when she started mentioning that her face was going numb, that she was feeling tingling in her arm and all the way down her leg. So they did some quick stroke tests, some physical testing that they do, have her smile, have her puff up her cheeks and like check pressure, do different things. One of the things that they had her do was he was touching her and, hey, what side do you feel, this, that, and the other. And unfortunately, she wasn't able to feel anything on her right side. So it was questionable whether or not she was actually having a stroke, but just to be safe, Erin decided, you know what, we're going to call the code stroke. So when Erin walked in, he looked at me and said, I'm just being overly cautious. I don't think she's actually having a stroke, but I don't know if this is the beginning signs of a stroke. If it is, we want to make sure we get it taken care of as fast as we can. I said, no, I agree. Do whatever you have to do. So that's when Lynn says that they were wheeling her down through the hallways really quickly, is because they did. They literally wheeled her as fast as they could down the hallway to a CAT scan and did a CAT scan on her.
And it was crazy because I've had a CAT scan before. I mean, I had a pretty bad head injury about a year and a half ago, and so I've had CAT scans before, and then I already had one in the hospital. So all these people, what was different this time is I'm laying on this thing, I'm kind of out of it from the morphine, and all these people, I'm looking up, and all these people are looking down at my face and telling me, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a CAT scan, and you don't need to move. We're gonna like move you onto this thing, and they're talking really fast, and they might not have been talking that fast. It might have just been the morphine, but they were talking really fast, and I was like, whatever. Like, I've had an SCT before. Like, just do it. I don't care. Like, whatever. And because that's just kind of how I am. I was like, all right, just do it. Like, you know, it's cool. Like, whatever. And so they did the CT scan, and they didn't see any immediate bleeds on the CT scan, which I guess is a thing if you're having a stroke, and they didn't see anything on that, but they decided to take me to the stroke unit, and then they did like a brain MRI, they did like a neck and spine MRI, they did some other tests, like a ultrasound of my neck, the arteries in my neck or veins in my neck. We learned a lot of interesting things while we were in the hospital about that, but they did all these testing, and so the good news is, I didn't have a stroke.
Or a heart attack.
That they think. They don't think I had a stroke. I could have had a TIA. Is that what it's called?
Yep.
TIA, but that won't show up. So they think it might have been that. I could have had a TIA, which is basically a mini stroke, and it doesn't leave signs of a stroke behind. But I didn't have a heart attack. Consulted a neurologist about the numbness, and I'm home today. And I still have tingling in this arm and in my face, a little tingly here, just like right here. It's kind of like you go to the dentist and you feel like asleep. It's like that, like right here. But my right leg is still tingly too. At least it's awake now, but it's still tingly. So I'm not walking with a limp. Yesterday I was walking with a pretty significant, not a limp, but I was kind of dragging my leg behind me. So that's the good news.
Yeah. The best part about everything yesterday, I will tell you, besides the getting to bring Lynn home and stuff like that, was watching her go through the process of physical therapy and look at me and go,
It's not a thing.
it's not a thing. She was walking with a walker.
And I kept looking at him going, this is not going to be a thing.
It was pretty funny because the physical therapist was very adamant that she was going to be using the walker.
And I'm like, not happening.
Which we have here, by the way.
Yeah, they made us come home with a walker, and I just laughed. I'm like, yeah, not happening.
Yeah.
Like, and I told Jonathan today, because I have a bunch of, like, we have a good significant amount of friends that are in wheelchairs for various reasons, and I was told Jonathan today, I'd rather be in a wheelchair than use a walker, so he can push me around in a wheelchair before I use a walker.
Yeah. So it's a good thing we're going to the RV show because we can look at RVs that have accessibility, you know, for wheelchairs and stuff like that if we need it.
But the reason that we're joking about that,
maybe we'll buy a toy hauler and I'll just roll her right in the back and then leave her there. She can't get through the rest of the RV, so it's fine. She can live back there.
Yeah. So that was the good news. The reason that we're joking about this is the neurologist thinks I might have MS.
Which is nothing to joke about, but at least it's something.
That's just kind of how we deal with stress.
Yeah.
Is we make jokes. We make sick, bad jokes that some people understand. Some people think they're sick, bad jokes.
If you're one of those people that thinks this is a sick, bad joke,
sorry.
Too bad.
Yeah, no, sorry, but so they think it might be MS. Not a fun thing to have somebody tell you. But like I told the nurse yesterday, Aaron, because he came to check how I was doing, I told him if it is MS, we're going to follow up with the neurologist and I have to do some other testing to see if it is, then it is. I mean, it is what it is. Like, we'll deal with it.
Yeah.
We'll deal with it together like we do everything else, and it'll be what it is.
Yep.
And, you know, what can you do? It is what it is.
And there's more reason, you know, that we strongly believe that we're making the right decision and moving towards, you know, traveling more and doing the things that we love.
Exactly. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else, I know I'm stuttering around a lot, but I don't know what else to say about it other than let's wait and see. I got a referral to a new neurologist today, so I'm going to make an appointment with that person. I can't call till Monday because it's Friday, of course. It's always Friday when you find things out from the doctors, always.
Yep.
So I can't do anything until Monday anyway. When I came home from the hospital, I took a shower. I took a long hot shower. I slept for 12 hours because you cannot sleep in the hospital. Literally, I was in bed, the first room I was in bed next to, no kidding here, a crackhead who had just gotten out of jail the week before and who has pneumonia.
Now, we know it wasn't the crackhead that Dan and Jen in Dan and Jen, Nevada. Go follow them on their YouTube channel. And by the way, thanks guys for the shout out. We really appreciate it.
Different crackhead than they had.
Different crackhead than they had
this was a girl.
in their RV. Yeah, ours was definitely a girl. I don't know.
No, she was a girl.
Yeah, no.
So
she was definitely a girl.
We learned everything about this girl in my room because there's only a curtain separating you, and she was not shy about talking about things, but literally I was in bed next to a crackhead for the first 2 days. I was afraid to sleep because at one point they asked her boyfriend to leave, and they thought I was sleeping, and I heard them saying like that. I'm not gonna say it on YouTube, but they were calling me bad names and saying that
female dog.
That it was, you know, it was my fault that they asked him to leave, and because I must have said something. So I told Jonathan when he came back in the morning, I was afraid to fall asleep. I thought they'd attack me while I was sleeping or something, you know, for outing them or something, and I hadn't said anything. But so it's kind of crazy in the hospital. Anyway, sorry, we had to pause there for a second because our dinner just got delivered and we're out by our garage. So the guy was walking around the alley looking for our address, and our neighbor Jim across the way said, I should have figured it was yours because we always get food delivered. So yeah, we just got our dinner delivered. So we're gonna wrap this up quickly here. But long story short, too late for that anyway, but long story short is good news. I didn't have a heart attack. I didn't have a stroke, maybe a mini stroke. But that leaves no residual damage, and possible bad news or not so great news would be MS, but remains to be seen. So that's what we've been doing this week. I'm home now. I'm going to edit this video tonight, and Jonathan's going to be out of town tomorrow. He has a gig out of town tomorrow, and I'm going to be home. My son's also working on a gig tomorrow, so I'll be home by myself, which stresses Jonathan out a little bit. But ironically, two of our neighbors, Daniela, who lives this way, and Terry, who lives right across the way, who actually just came here to check on me, both work at the hospital I was in. So if anything happens, I could call either one of them. But before all of this, we've minimalized some more this week. Before everything happened, we did get rid of the storage unit. We did update got rid of some other stuff. When family was here on Sunday, we used that as an opportunity to get rid of a few more boxes of things by saying to family members, oh, by the way, I have a couple boxes for you, take these with you.
Yep. My dad ended up with some stuff. Her sister ended up with some stuff.
My sister-in-law.
Her sister-in-law ended up with some
my
stuff.
My daughter.
Yep.
Everybody kind of left with a parting gift this weekend, so it was kind of like...
And her brother was, I think it was your brother, that said, I've got some stuff for you too. And we said, no.
No, nothing comes in.
Everything goes out. Nothing comes back in. Yep.
Everything goes out. He's like, I have some stuff for you. No. And everything's going out. It's not coming back in. So we denied him.
Yeah.
But we did some stuff home with his my sister-in-law, which he didn't realize, I don't think, at the time. So, in our garage behind us, you can see we have a project for sure. So we're going to continue working on this week. Fingers crossed, everything goes well this week and we can stay out of the hospital for more than a day or two. Jonathan has more visitor hospital wristbands and stickers than I can even because at the hospital I was in every day was a different color sticker, and the hospital his grandparents were in every day we had to, or it was a wristband at my hospital, and every day in the other hospital it was stickers, so we had all these stickers every day, and then parking, and it was just it's a lot. So that's what's going on with us.
Glad it's over. It's Friday.
I'm home.
It's Friday the 13th.
I took a shower for you guys, put makeup on, so my neighbor came over and said, you look good, and I go, well, I literally just took a shower, put makeup on for this video, so covering up the I don't feel so great thing. And I still do have numbness. I have numbness in my right hand, like I said, my right leg, and a little bit on my face, and we'll follow up with the doctor, and in between following up with doctors and working, then we'll keep minimalizing. That's the plan. Everything on this side of the garage, there's a metal shelf right here behind me. Before the party on Sunday, when Jonathan was at work, I had moved everything that's gonna get donated. It was supposed to have gotten donated this week. Everything over here is donations, so that's all gonna be gone this week for sure, because it's donates. We have some boxes over on this side that are also donatable. So we've got them marked where they're for, what they're for. So we have tablecloths, a bunch of tablecloths from an event we did. The nice, ones you normally rent, like those tablecloths, we're giving to the culinary department at our local high school because they need tablecloths all the time. And they're blacks, you can always use them. My daughter came on Sunday and said, okay, I'm gonna start, my daughter's sister and sister-in-law were saying, so do we start putting post-it things on things now that we want when you leave? And I said, well, Ashlyn, my daughter, gets first choice. And she's already told me she wants my Instapot, she wants my juicer. She's making a list, so we told her she gets first crack at whatever.
Which, calm down. We have multiple Instapots.
Yeah, I have more than one.
I know everybody's going to say, but don't get rid of your Instapot. No, it's okay. We've got several, so Ashlyn's going to take one.
We have two. There's a difference between two and several. Well, we have two, but I'm going to definitely give her one. She can have the juicer because I love my juicer, but we did buy a combo specifically for the RV that does juicing and food processing and smoothies and all that in one unit rather than multiple different units. So she's going to take the Breville, really expensive Breville juicer, which is fine with me, and some other things. So they're all shopping at our house, which totally fine.
Yeah.
Put your name on stuff, let us know. We're going to show you a quick overview of what's left of the garage, and we're going to go eat our dinner. So sorry the video's a day late. I'm not making excuses, just telling the truth, and I guess that's it.
All right.
So, see you guys later.
Talk to you soon.
Bye. We have stacks of books for the library to donate. Everything all the way down to here is all donation. This is actually not, this is for the bathroom. This is all the stuff we need to still go through and sell and get rid of. This box, the blue box down here is for the culinary department at the high school, so they'll take that whole box. These are some lights we ordered for the house, and now we're not putting them up, so we have to return these to Wayfair. This is our bubble wrap for shipping things out, but all these containers that are on the shelf are now empty, and they're double stacked behind. Those used to be full, so we've emptied all of these and given away probably 30 containers also. So we're getting there. But yeah, the garage is embarrassing, but this is the truth about minimalizing and changing your life.